Good morning, everyone. This is Mr. Lopez. Today's Monday, March the 30th, and you should be have finished 13.4 and 16.4 and checking your work. So let's check the work you did for Monday, and it's 13.4. Let's look at your daily task assessment. Let's take a look at how we solve these problems. So here are your answers, and let's walk through it. So for this one, there are 45 students on the field trip. For every 9 students on the field trip, there will be 1. So in order to figure out how many adults, I have to divide 45 by 9, and that gives me 5. So there'll be 5 adults going. The next one, each baseball game is 9 innings, so that's 1 game. So if the Little League Tigers played 72 innings, is your other one that you need to highlight. So you divide 72 by 9, that gives you 8. The next one, it's a multi-step, so make it easy on yourself. You have there's a total of 72 panes in the large window. 72 panes. I'm just putting them together. And total of 44 panes in the small one. 44 in the small one. That's the small. Each large window has 9 panes, so I divide the large ones by 9. And each small one, each small window has 4. So I divide that by 4. So I get my answers. 72 divided by 9 is 8, because 8 times 9 is 72. 44 divided by 4, that gives me 11. And then my next step, I add those 2, and that gives me a total of 19. So that's how we solve this one. So you just get the number of panes in the large one and how many panes make one of the large, and you divide it. It takes 9, so you divide that by 9, and the same thing for the small. Get the total number of panes, and you divide by the number of panes it takes to make a small one. Here's an easy one. At the aquarium, Miss Brady separates 36 students into 9 equal groups. How many students are in each group? So 36 divided by 9. In fact, that's a large group. That's a lot. Miss Brady has a very tough job. Okay, so let's move on to your homework. Here are your answers. For the first section here, all you're doing is finding the missing number. So 72 divided by 9. Okay, 9 in here, blank divided by 9 equals 2, and you have to multiply these two. Here you have to figure out which one you multiply by 9 to get 54. What number do you multiply by 7 to get 63, and so forth. So these are pretty self-explanatory. Now, you all are doing a very good job with the online assignments. To read the table here, make sure when you read this table that you just take your time. You work out each one. 49 divided by 7, and it goes here. So each one follows that pattern. Okay, 56 divided by 7. 35 divided by 7, and so forth. And you do the same for this one. So those are your answers here. 36 divided by 9, 27 divided by 9. 72 divided by 9, 27 divided by 9, 81 divided by 9. Here are your answers. For the next one is you telling me the steps it takes to solve the next problem. So I have a possible answer here. So Daryl collects 38 plastic liter bottles and 43 plastic jugs. He divides them equally into 9 recycling bins. How many plastic containers does he put in each bin? Write the steps. So what's the first thing he has to do? He has to add 38 plus 43, and that gives you 81. Then he's going to put them in a total equally into 9 recycling bins. So those 81 plastic containers, he's going to put into 9 recycling bins. So then you divide that number by 9, and that 81 divided by 9 is 9. So anything that looks like this, you're good. Annette has 72 pink buttons, 36 red buttons, and 45 green buttons. How can she sort the buttons into 9 equal piles? So there are the same number of different color buttons in each pile. So now you just take each color. 27, you divide that by 9. 3. 36, you divide that by 9. 4. 45 divided by 9 is 5. Notice that you're not adding those. You're just answering this question right here. How can she sort the buttons into 9 equal piles? And she's just sorting the buttons. She didn't say how many total buttons did she sort. She is just sorting these buttons, each one, into 9 equal piles. So hopefully your answer is correct here. Okay, let's go to the next one, number 11. Jamal has 63 marbles. For every 8 blue marbles, there is 1 red marble. I'm sorry. Jamal has 63 marbles. For every 8 marbles, there is 1 red marble. Okay, so for every 8 of these, there is 1 red. So we take, here's what you have to figure out here. So let's put these two together. There's one, let's get the total number of marbles. So there's how many total numbers here that we're going to put them into groups? 9. Very good. That's the key right here. How many red marbles? So 8 plus 1 is 9. 63 divided by 9 is 7. Number 12, Anquan made 45 party favors. He puts an equal number of favors on 9 tables. Again, here you have how many party favors. So you divide 45 into 9 equal groups, and that gives you 5 in each group. Next one, Carol has a coin collection of 54 coins. She puts 9 coins in each page in a coin book. How many pages does Carla fill in her coin book? So again, you take the number here. How many coins does she have? 54. How many equal groups? 9 coins in each page. So 54 divided by 9. 14, there are 9 people at the dinner. The bill total is $72. They split the bill into equal amounts. Here's your key right there. You know they're splitting them into equal amounts. So you have a total of 9 people. And among those 9 people, they're going to divide 72 into equal parts. So you divide 72 by 9, and that gives you $8. Each person paid $8. And if you take a look at these, some of these don't make sense. 96, that doesn't make sense. 7, that doesn't make sense. Multi-steps, you know you're going to have 2 steps to work on. Susie has 36 daffodils, 27 tulips, and 18 roses. She wants to make 9 bouquets with an equal number of flowers. How many flowers will Susie put into each bouquet? So she has 36. Excuse me. It's 36. She divides that by how many? She wants to put 9 bouquets. So she gets these 36. She puts these equally into 9 bouquets. So 36 divided by 9 is 4. She takes the 27 tulips. She puts those into 9 bouquets. So 27 divided by 9 is 3. She takes the 18 roses. She puts those into equal groups of 9. 18 divided by 9 is 2. You add all those 3 and you get 9. 4 plus 3 is 7, plus 2 is 9. How do we do? Good? Excellent. The next one. Tang buys 27 large notepads and 32 small notepads. The large notepads come in packs of 9. The small notepads come in packs of 4. How many packs of notepads does Tang buy in all? So now you have to figure out how many he buys in all. Oops. So we take 27. Okay, Tang buys 27 large notepads and 32 small notepads. Okay. The large notepads come in packs of 9. So 27. The large one comes in packs of 27 divided by 9 is 3. The small ones, 32 small notepads, come in packs of 4. So you divide 32 by 4. That gives you 8. Then you add those two together. That gives you 11. Well, I hope everyone did very well in here. Thank you for your patience and cooperation. And let me just say, you're doing a great job with those online assignments. Keep it up. Keep doing your work. And hopefully, as we go along this with this endeavor, that we start to get very successful for this. So let's go to Group D. Group D, we're working with your 16.4. Let me pull up what we did. So Group D, here we go with 16.4. Let's look at your daily task assessment. You can estimate a stained glass design with the rectangles shown at the right. Here are the rectangles. Which rectangles have the same shape and same area? Make sure you highlight this. Same shape and same area. So they have to be identical. And the area is the same. So if you look at the shape, you can start looking, okay, these two cannot be it because these two don't match. And I look at these two, A and D, and I count the number of squares. This one is an area of 6. This one has an area of 6 also. If If I get the area of these two, they do not match. They're not the same size or shape, so your answer is A and B. Paulo buys a mirror. The frame is made of 6 same-size trapezoids. What unit fraction of the frame is each trapezoid? Okay, so how many? This is easy. How many total does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 trapezoids. What unit fraction of the frame is each trapezoid? So this one is 1/6. Well, this one's 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, 1/6. So your answer is 1/6, each out of the 6. Here's a multi-step. Anastasia's painting one wall of her room. She divides the wall into 8 squares with the same area. She paints half of the squares light green and half of the squares dark green. What fraction of the wall is one dark screen? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So first of all, you have how many? You have a total of 8. So right there, you should be able to look at everything else here and determine, whoa, none of these have the same hole here, because I have 8 total. Yes, she paints half of them dark green and half of them light. But how many is each one? Well, you're going to look at one. You're going to look at one. And even though all these 4 are painted, yes, we know that. But they're asking you how many is 1, the fraction unit of 1, and that's 1 out of 8. And this was easy, because if you looked at these two, this one, they just don't make sense. They don't start with the same hole. So hopefully you picked up on that one. They do try to make that trick, and they will get some of you if you don't pay attention. The next one's an easy one. Raph divided the rectangle at the right into 6 parts with equal area. What is the area of each part? So you already know they're equal. It tells you right here. So just count the area of 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's right there. Just count the area. One of the biggest errors is we add them. And that'll be one of your answers. Notice how they do that. Let's look at your homework. It asks you to divide the trapezoid in half, the square in half, and the rectangle into equal parts. So it should look something like this. Okay? So it's just making, and this one when we divide it into equal parts, we call this line a line of symmetry. So the next one is draw lines. You have these shapes here, and you have to figure out, well, how many. Write the area of each part as a unit fraction. Okay, so now you have to figure out this first. So this is what you do first. If you remember from what we did earlier, you add all the squares. You get the area first. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 12, 16. I have 16. I need to know how many are going to be in each group. And I divide, how many equal parts am I going to have? 4. 16 divided by 4 equals 4. So I know each shape that I divided into has to have 4. So this one has 4, this one has 4, this one has 4. And then what is the fraction, the unit fraction? Well, this one's 1 unit of 4. The next one's the same thing. The first thing you have to do is get the total area first. Okay? And your total area here, once you count it, 6, 12, 18. Okay, because you have to figure out how many are going to be in the shape that you make first. But the first thing you do is you figure out the total area. Then you divide it by the number of equal parts that you have is 3. You get an answer of 6. So 6 will be the number in each one, the area for each shape that you draw. Now some of these shapes will be different, but so long as you have 6 in each group, you're good. And you should come up with 3 equal groups. And what is this unit fraction called? Well, that's 1 out of 3. Okay? Does that make sense? Good. Let's look at the next one. Sanchez puts a window in his house made of 2 same-sized triangles. What unit fraction of the window is each triangle? So you already know, and you could draw the picture if you want, but it already tells you how many triangles you have. It tells you have 2. What is the unit fraction of the window is each triangle? So if you divide this by half, you could call this A. You could call this B. So for A, it's 1 out of 2, and it's the same thing for B. 1 out of 2. Okay, 1/2. And it tells you right here. Good job. Let's look at the next one. Georgie has a rectangular window that is divided into 6 same-size squares. What fraction of the window is each square? So how many total squares do you have? I have 6. Okay. Oops. I have 6. How much is each one? What? It's 1/6. Okay, sometimes it's so easy, we make it a little bit harder on ourselves. Marcy has a square window that is divided into 8 same-size squares. What fraction of the window is 1 square? So we look at the square. Oops, I'm sorry. We look at the shape. Okay, into 8 times squares. What fraction of the window is 1 square? So she divided the square window into what? It's divided into 8 same-size squares. And if you count it, there's 1, 2. Sorry, 1, 2. I can't see that. Try to make this larger. I'm sorry. Okay. So take a look at this. How many do we have in each one? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. This one doesn't go with this one. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. There's only 5 here. So divided into 8 same-size squares. That's your 8 right there. I'm sorry. I was looking at this problem here, and I'm like, this does not make sense. And what fraction of the window is 1 square? Well, there's 1. So I'll get the total number of squares. That's this one here. And then the 1 unit square. What fraction is 1 unit square? That's 1. Sorry about that. Now we get to use it. Rory divides the square into 7 equal parts. What is the area of each part? So all you do is you count. You have 7 equal parts. You just count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's this one right here. That's when I was counting these 5 right now. I was like, that doesn't make any sense because it doesn't work here. Alright, the next one's multi-step here. So Perry makes a quilt with the same size squares. He makes 2 red squares, 2 blue squares, 2 yellow squares, and 2 green squares. So if you add all those together, how many total squares do you have in this quilt? 2, 4, 6, 8. I have 8. How many of the squares are red? Okay, 2. Now if you look at this, because there's 2 of them, none of these are correct. None of these, because you're going to say, well, there's that 8 here. Here's my total here. But notice I just did 1 step. Okay, the next thing I said, I have to divide. I have to divide it. And I'm going to divide it by the number of red squares. I divide it by the number of red squares. I divide 2 by 2. That gives me 1. I divide 8 by 2. That gives me 4. So your answer is 1/4 there. I'll see what I did. Okay, this is called reducing. And we're going to learn more about this in the units to come. So that's what we did. We reduced this number into a smaller fraction. And the reason we're able to do these because these two are common factors. Okay? And we'll explain that a little bit more into great detail as we move along. The next one, Doreen makes a painting with 12 same-size squares. She painted 1/2 of the squares with a design. How many squares did Doreen paint it? Well, 12 same size, half, 2, 6. Oh, you can even draw the picture. Okay? Draw the picture. You know these were painted with a design. I'm sorry. Supposed to have 6. 2, 4, 2, 4, 6. 8, 2, 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 have the design, and you just count the remaining ones. Well, that concludes the revision or the review of 16.4. Hopefully you all did very well. Please stay focused on your assignments and continue doing a good job. For now, this is Mr. Lopez signing out again until we meet again.